Hello everybody. Welcome to the third section of Essential HTML and CSS full course. In previous section, I explained you very generally about Visual Studio and I explained about very general tags like body, header, and HTML tag. In this section, I will explain you about important key shortcut that we use in the code. Then I will explain you the most important tags like paragraph, like headers, like order list, unordered list, and so on and so forth. I will explain you what is attribute and the important attributes will be explained in this section, and I will explain about relative and absolute paths. So without losing time, let's move to Visual Studio and I explain you about the code. So here is the code that we created in previous section. It contains just two paragraphs and one title. The only things that is added here, and I did not explain about it in previous section, is this image file that very soon we will use it. Here is what we created in previous section. Just two paragraph tag, body, header with title. First, very shortly, I will explain about important shortcut that in the keyboard you can use. The first shortcut that you can use is copy. If you want to copy some part of the code, you can select that part and by holding Command in Mac or Control in Windows and pressing C at the same time, it will be copied, and to paste it somewhere else, by holding Command in the Mac or by holding Control in the Windows and pressing V at the same time, it will paste what you have copied. The next one is undo the process that you have done. For example, I pasted one paragraph here and I want to undo it. By holding Command and pressing Z, it will be undo that process one step. If you press one more time, it will do that process more and more. If you want to redo that process, if you have done the undo and you want to return back to the process that you have done, by holding Command Shift Z or Control Shift Z in Windows, you can redo that process. And the last things that I want to say, by holding Control and pressing /, you will comment that part. So command /, it will uncomment, command / it will comment that line. Now let's discuss about important tags that at the end of this section you will have this possibility to make your first website. And all the essential important tags I will try to explain in this section. The first tag that you already have learned is paragraph tag. Paragraph tag is the most used tag for text content. When you want to show text content in your website, you will use paragraph or p tag. The next tag that we will learn is a strong tag. When you want to show one part of the text bold and stronger than the other part, you will use a strong tag. So I created a strong and I put HTML and CSS inside the strong tag. Now if we check our website, you see the HTML and CSS part is stronger than other part. The next tag that we will learn is emphasize or EM. By creating EM and putting some part of text inside the EM tag, you will see that this part will become italic. Another tag that will give somehow a style to your text is a small tag. So if I write small tag here, as you can see, the IDE that I am using, Visual Studio Code, is adding the end tag to the code automatically. So when I am writing a small, it is adding /small at the end to complete it. So I put that first inside that small, and as you can see, this first is smaller than the other part. It's not very obvious, but if I zoom in, you can see that this first is smaller than other part of the text. Let's reset that zoom and move to the next tag. The next tag that I want to explain here is heading tag. We have 6 different type of heading inside HTML code. It's starting from h1 until h6, and the priority and the importance of this heading are decreasing by increasing this number. So the h1 is more important and more bold and more bigger than h2 and h3. So let's create h1, and one more shortcut that you can use inside Visual Studio is using tab. So I'm writing h1 and I'm just pressing tab, and it's creating start and end tag all together. And if this tag has some important attribute also, for example the image tag have src and some attributes that we will reach to it, it will write that attribute also. So I will write here heading 1 and h2, heading 2, h3 tab, heading 3, h4 tab, heading 4, h5 tab, heading 5, and the last one h6, heading 6. So as you can see, the heading 1 is the most bold and most bigger heading inside the HTML, and by increasing that number, the size of the text and its importance is decreasing. Also, that number is affecting inside the SEO. In the SEO, it is a practice that you must not use more than one h1 inside one single page, and search engines that are searching your website and reading the content for showing it in their system like Google, checking these tags also, checking if the header one is exist, what is the text that is inside the header, and what you have written inside the h1 is more important than the other tag. The next tag that I want to explain here is unordered list. Unordered list, or UL tag, is for showing the list inside the HTML website. Inside the UL tag, you need li tag, that is your list. For each single list, you need li tag to show it. So for creating unordered list, you need UL tag, and for each line of your list, you need one li tag. So here I will write list 1, list 2, list 3. As you can see, here is our list, and in front of each line we have one dot because it's unordered list. It's called unordered because there is no number or counting in our list. The next tag that we will learn is ordered list. Ordered list is exactly like unordered list but with number. To create it, we are using OL tag, and inside the OL tag, ordered list, exactly like unordered list, we have li tags. So I will put same things here. And let's see the result. As you can see, here is unordered list and here is ordered list. The next tag that we are going to learn is div, that is using for dividing the different part of the code and grouping them. This div by itself does not affect on the visual side of the code that we have. When I add this div to this code that currently we have, it will not add any style or any visual things to it. But in the future, when we learn about the CSS, it will help us to group the different part of the website, and styling the different of the part will be possible and easier. So I will divide codes that I have in 4 different parts. Here I will create one div, and these 2 paragraphs will move to this div, another div for header, another div will be for unordered list, and another div will be for ordered list. And the reason that sometimes when I'm saving you are seeing this indenting happening automatically is that I activated auto indenting in my code. So whenever I'm saving my code, it is indenting data automatically. As I explained, and as you see right now, by adding 4 different div inside this code, it did not affect anything visually. It did not have any visual effect. But the divs already exist. If we check in the inspect, all the 4 divs exist, and it's grouped our code to 4 different parts. The next tag that I would like to explain, and also it is using in many different places, is a span tag. The span tag also is using for holding the text, exactly like paragraph, but it has some important difference with paragraph that in very near future I will explain about it, in which places we are using a span and in which places we are using paragraph. But for now you can use a span also for holding text. So here the text or is the content that I put in the span tag, and here is the text that I put inside paragraph, and as you can see they are totally same. They seems totally same. Until now I explained about the tags that have a starting and ending. Now let's talk about the tags that does not have ending tag. The first tag that you will learn, and it does not have ending, is br tag. Br is for break, and for breaking the text or breaking the code into 2 parts. As you can see, this paragraph is in 1 line, but if I want to break it in 2 lines, the tag that I can use is br or break. It does not matter that this part of the code be on the other line. It's just for indenting the code. My IDE automatically breaking the code to a smaller part, so it will be easier to read the code. Otherwise, it does not matter that this br be in next line. To prevent this misunderstanding, I will add it after a small tag. And now if we check here, after this small, that is first, the other part of the text is showing in the next line. The next tag that have a starting but does not have ending is hr tag, or horizontal rule. This horizontal rule will make one horizontal line inside our code wherever we are using. If I use that hr here, one horizontal line is added here. The next tag, and the important tag that have a starting but does not have ending, is image tag. And let's check what will happen inside the website. By adding the image tag, automatically nothing will be added inside the page, because image tag have one important and required attribute. What is the attribute? The attribute is some required or not required feature that you are giving to one tag. For example, image tag have src attribute. Inside the src attribute, you are defining the place and the directory that image exists inside it, the image that you want to preview. So as this image is exactly next to this index.html file, I will write src equal double quotation, and inside the double quotation I will write image.png. And now if I save it and I check the code, this image is added here. So the first attribute that we'll learn is src attribute in image tag. The next attribute that we have inside the image is alt. Alt is some explanation text about that image, and it used for SEO, and also we are using it to show what is this image. When the image is not loaded or image have issue, instead of that image we are showing that text that we have written inside the alt. So here I will write Apple image. The next tag that also have attribute is anchor link, that we are using for creating link inside website. Here I will write A and I press tab. So as I explained, by writing that tag and pressing tab inside IDE, you will have this possibility to write at the same time tag and its attributes. It will add href attribute. The href, that is standing for hyperlink reference, is for link or website or URL that is connecting to our anchor link. For example, here I want to show Google website. Between the A tag, whatever text I write, it will be my content, and my text will be that content. And inside the href double quotations, I will write https ://www.google.com. Now if we check here, my browser automatically show the anchor link with different color and underline to show that it's link and it's clickable, and when I'm clicking on it, I will be redirected to the Google website. Another usage of anchor link is connecting to another page of our internal website. Imagine that this is our landing or index page, and we want to go to about page by clicking on that link. So very fast, I will create new file. I will name it about.html, and to not lose time, I will copy everything here, paste it here, delete all the extra tags, and inside the body I will create only one h1 about us, and here in this link I will change this Google to about us, and inside the link we can just exactly like what we did for the image, we can just write about.html. Here if I click on about us, it will be redirected to /about.html page. The next tag that I want to explain here is block quote. block quote tag is using when you want to put some text from another reference inside your website. So because of the copyright and to show that what is the original reference of this text, you will use block quotes. It have one attribute that by using this attribute you will show the source of that text. That attribute will be cite with C in fact, and here will be the URL of that file or URL of that text that originally it was exist there and you took it from there. Let's imagine that we took that text from Google. Here is one text from Google website. The only difference that this block quote tag will give to your text is that it will be a little more forward and the person will understand that it's one quote from another source. One more attribute that I want to add, and I don't want to confuse you with that attribute, is style. In fact, we are using a style to add CSS and a style to our tag, and I don't want you to confuse yourself with the text and the information that I'm writing inside the style attribute. Here in the H1 I will add style, and inside this double quotation I will write color blue. This color blue is related to CSS, and I will explain about it very deeply and we will learn it inside the CSS part. The attribute that I wanted to explain now is a style that is used for adding CSS style to our tag. And here if you check that H1, its text color is converted to blue. Sometimes developers are using comments to write some text in their code, but they don't want to show it inside the compiled version. The way that we are showing comment inside the HTML tag, or the way that we are writing comment inside HTML, is tag mark, exclamation mark, dash dash, and then again dash dash and closing that tag. This is the syntax that we are using for writing comment, and whatever you write inside that part, here is one comment, it will not show inside the website. If I go to the inspect, my comment exists there, but it is not showing inside the website. Also, another way that we are using comment is commenting some part of the code. Usually developers are using for debugging and for finding issues inside the code. So if I add these comment symbols in the beginning and in the end of H6 tag, you will see that its color will be converted to green, and here the H6 does not exist anymore. The shortcut for commenting is using command and forward slash, or control forward slash in Windows, command forward slash in Mac, and control forward slash in Windows. Okay, now I want to explain about relative path and absolute path. In the relative path, the directory of the file that we want to define inside the image will be related to the location of the file that we are writing image tag inside. For example, here this image file is exactly in the same directory that this index.html file exists, and our image tag is inside this index.html file. So to give relative directory or relative path to this image src, we will just write the image name and its prefix. But in the absolute path, we will write the full path of the website. For example, here, if I want to use absolute directory, absolute path, my URL or my domain or my host, as it is the local host, it is 127.0.0.1 with port 5500. So if I copy this and put it in the beginning of this image, it will be the absolute directory. So it is absolutely showing that image, and it does not matter that where this HTML file exists. It's considering based on the host. So it's the absolute directory, and this one is relative. If I want to make this one also absolute, I can put that URL in the beginning, and it will be absolute also. And if we check this website, still we are showing the image and still that link is working. To show it more better, even I can add some BR tag here. I added BR between the image and anchor link. So each one will be in the new line. And if in the inspect we check it, we are using absolute directory. If we remove this part of path, it will be relative directory. Okay, that's all the things that I wanted to explain in this section. In this section, you'll learn about paragraph tag, about a small tag, strong tag, BR, EM, about divs, h1 until h6, about commenting, unordered list and ordered list, span, image, anchor link, block counts. And with this information, you have this ability to make your first website. In the next section, I will explain about forms inside HTML, and we will learn tags that are related to the form, and we will make form. Thanks for watching. If you like that videos, please like and share, and also please hit the subscribe button and also activate the bell, so by uploading the new videos you will be notified and you can continue this course. Thank you for your time. Until next section, goodbye.